With Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony right around the corner, we here at Suggestive Gaming figured now would be the perfect time to look back on the past events of one of the most tragic video game franchises of all time. So without further ado, this is what you need to know about Danganronpa. Our story begins with the foundation of Hope's Peak Academy, with the intention to raise the future hope of the nation by recruiting students who were the ultimates in their area of talent. Additionally, every year one student was drawn from a lottery as the ultimate lucky student. As time went on, however, the school was unable to survive from government grants and alumni donations, and it was forced to open a preparatory school to the public, which was called the Reserve Course. Students in the Reserve Course weren't selected based on their talents, but instead were allowed in via an entrance exam. The two-tiered system of Hope's Peak Academy continued successfully, and eventually the 77th class was admitted, including Nagito Kumida as the ultimate lucky student. Additionally, a student named Hajime Hanada is admitted to the Reserve Course the same semester. Also, Hope's Peak Academy began to construct an overseas remote branch. Shortly after, however, tragedy struck the academy when a reserve student named Natsumi Kazuryu was murdered by a fellow student known as Sato when she revealed her plans to plot an event to get Sato's friend Mahiru Kazumi removed from the main course so she could take her place. Mahiru and Sato cover up the murder, but Sato is discovered and subsequently murdered by Natsumi's older brother, heir to the Kazuryu crime family, Fuyuhiko. In hopes to realize their final goal of creating the ultimate hope, a student with every talent the academy had researched, the school steering committee set forth with the Azuru Kamakura project. As part of this secret project, they recruited a reserve student, Hajime Hanada, and conducted several extensive and illegal experiments and surgeries in order to turn him into the ultimate hope. These measures drove the boy to insanity, and the committee decided to lobotomize him and remove his memories and various emotions. Once he awoke, he was given the name Azuru Kamakura after the founder of Hope's Peak Academy. The following year, the 78th class was admitted, including ultimate lucky student Makoto Naegi and ultimate fashionista Junko Inoshima, and the main course students were moved to a new building on the campus. Growing a desire to paint the world in despair, Junko, along with her twin sister Mikuro, the ultimate soldier, began to call themselves the Despair Sisters and set out to achieve Junko's goal of ultimate despair. After arriving on campus, the sisters captured the student council and forced them into a game where they must kill each other. Only 2 students survived this event, but one was killed after noticing and attacking and observing Azuru. The other student, Soshun Murasame, was left in an unresponsive state due to a head injury he had sustained. After the killing game eliminated the student council, the steering committee attempted to cover up the incident, claiming that the council was sent to the overseas branch to study abroad. To help achieve this, they recruited student Yasuke Matsuda, ultimate neurologist, to use his skills to extract information from Soshun. However, due to his lifelong friendship and mutual love for Junko, he instead murdered Soshun and covered up Junko's memories to protect her from suspicion. She later broke from this, however, and killed Yasuke in a fit of anger. During the game, Junko captured the murders on security cameras, and using this footage created the Despair video. She manipulated a fellow student, Ryota Mitara, ultimate animator, to provide special effects to subliminally brainwash a deep feeling of despair into those who viewed the video. She then showed this video to the Reserve Course and provided emails detailing the illegal experiments led in creating Azuru, leading them to believe that the academy was creating murderous human machines. These brainwashed reserve students then stormed the new main course building in an event called the Parade, and killed all of the main course students except half of the 77th class and the entire 78th class. Shortly after, Junko sent her brainwashed army another video that led them to commit suicide simultaneously. After this event, known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, the school shut down the Azuru Kamakura project and stopped development of the overseas branch. The principal of the school, Jin Kirigiri, along with the 78th class, converted the old school building into a shelter and began to live there as the world outside started to crumble into despair. The remaining 77th class aligned with Junko through more brainwashing to become known as the Ultimate Despair, and together they caused a worldwide violent phenomenon known as the Tragedy. After most of the world was driven to despair and anarchy, Junko decided to go after the last remnants of hope, those still bunkered inside Hope's Peak. Using research conducted by Yasuke before his death, Junko was able to erase the memories of the students of the 78th class inside of Hope's Peak, and she killed the principal before awakening the class inside of a new killing game led by a robotic bear of her creation, Monokuma. Monokuma eventually convinced several students to kill each other, leading the others to convict these murderers of their crimes, leading to their punishment of death. Led by Mikado Naegi and Kyoko Kirigiri, ultimate detective and the daughter of the school's deceased principal, the surviving students eventually discovered the truth of their past and what was going on in the world around them. They uncovered Junko's plot and discovered that she had her sister sacrifice herself earlier in the game to achieve her final goal. Junko realized her own ultimate despair of falling short of her master plan and killed herself as punishment of being convicted by the survivors of the killing game. The surviving class exited the school and survived on the outside until they were discovered by the Future Foundation, an organization formed to fight back against the despair ravishing the world. Included in these survivors were Mikado, Kyoko, Byaka Togami, ultimate affluent progeny, and to a lesser extent his admirer Toko Fukawa, ultimate writing prodigy with an alternate serial killer identity, Genocide Jack, the ultimate murderous fiend. After their recruitment, the students discovered that various people related to them had been trapped in Towa City, including Makoto's sister, Komaru. Byakuya and several other future Foundation members were sent to save Komaru, but were ambushed and captured by Monokumas controlled by a group of children who had gone missing from a Hope's Peak-affiliated elementary school called the Warriors of Hope. The Warriors assembled other children in the city with the goal to eliminate demons, whom included various adults trapped in the city. With the help of Haeji Towa and his group of resistors, as well as Toko, Komaru was able to eliminate the Warriors of Hope and find their leader Minako Tawa, Haeji's sister. It is revealed that she had intended to turn Komaru into Junko's successor by forcing her into despair. This failed, however, and Komaru and Toko were able to disable the Monokumas and stop Manaka, who was trapped under the rubble in their wake. Afterwards, Komaru remained in the city to protect the remaining children, and Manaka was rescued by the Warriors of Hope's servant, the 77th class's lucky student and Ultimate Despair member, Nagito Kameda, who vowed to raise her as the new Junko Inoshima. Sometime after this, future Foundation member Misaki Asano was tasked with investigating a mysterious serial killer named Killer Killer, who exclusively targeted other serial killers. In truth, this was her own partner, Takumi Harihara, secretly. After witnessing Hope prevail with Junko's execution, Izuru remained undecided on whether to fight for Hope or despair, leading him to start looking for an opportunity to pit the two against each other to determine a victor. Meanwhile, the Future Foundation created the Neo World program, a virtual world intended to be used to upload the consciousness of those left of Ultimate Despair, known as the Remnants of Despair, and remove their brainwashing. Izuru seized this opportunity and uploaded a virus containing an AI version of Junko into the program and convinced the Remnants of Despair to allow their own capture, claiming that he will then download Junko's consciousness into their bodies. The members did this, but upon starting the program, instead of the Junko AI downloading into their bodies, it manipulated the experience and injected a virtual Monokuma who started a brand new killing game. The game played out with only 5 of the 10 surviving the experience, leaving the rest of the students in a comatose state, still trapped in the program. The game was ended by an invading Makoto, Kyoko, and Byakuya, who forcefully shut down the program and saved the surviving students. The ones who escaped regained their memories and abandoned their beliefs injected by Junko. Izuru was one of these survivors, but due to regaining the memories of his past before the project, he takes on his old persona of Hajime. Unhappy with Mikado's actions to save the Remnants of Despair after the Neo World plan fell apart, Kyosuke Minakata, the vice leader of the Future Foundation, sent a cleanup crew to eliminate everyone on Jabberwock Island, the location of the project. Byakuya dispatched his own squad to protect them so they could leave the island and head to the Future Foundation's offshore facility, formerly the Hope's Peak Offseas branch. Upon arrival at the facility, the Foundation prepared to hold trial for Mikado's treason. However, upon beginning it, they were attacked by missiles, sealing the exits, Monokuma appeared on their screens, and gas seeped into the room, knocking everyone out. When they awoke, Monokuma informed them that they were now in the middle of a new killing game. In the middle of the game, it was revealed that the game was actually taking place in an underwater facility under the Future Foundation headquarters. Later, it was discovered that when the players fell asleep at night, whomever was closest to a monitor was awoken and made to watch a suicide video, which brainwashed that person into killing themselves. Eventually, one player, Juzo Sakakura, was able to shut off the power to the facility and end the game. At the same time, Roto, now a member of the Future Foundation and a player in this game, received a message from the founder of the Future Foundation and former headmaster of Hope's Peak, revealing himself to be behind this killing game from the start, having been secretly in Ultimate Despair after seeing Junko's Despair video. This prompted Ryoto to begin broadcasting his own Hope video to the world to eliminate despair once and for all. The other 3 survivors of the game, Mikado, Kyosuke, and another student from the 78th class, Ahoy Asahina, rushed to stop him from broadcasting the video. They convinced Ryoto that by broadcasting this video, they would be no better than Junko and the Ultimate Despair. He agreed and stopped the broadcast, but not before eliminating most of the despair that was still ravishing the world. After their escape, the survivors found that Izuru had awoken all of the comatose students on Jabberwock, and they decided to take the blame for this final game in order to preserve the reputation of the Future Foundation. They then headed back to remain in peace and solitude on Jabberwock Island. Ryoto and Kyosuke left the Future Foundation, and those who remained decided to put their resources into rebuilding Hope's Peak Academy, with Mikado taking the place of the headmaster. This brings a close to the despair that wrought Hope's Peak Academy, with a hopeful future waiting ahead. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit that like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel to see new videos in the future. I know I had to leave a lot of details out of this video, so feel free to leave a comment filling in the gaps. Thanks again everybody, hope to see you next time.